Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, breathe a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just get a sense that any tension, any stress, slowly but surely is leaving your body in your outward breath. As you breathe in and breathe out, just get a sense that you're becoming deeper and deeper, relaxed. Now, notice that with your eyes closed, you're able to give more of your attention to the sound of my voice. Notice as you breathe in and breathe out, you can take longer to breathe in and breathe out for longer than you normally would, enabling more of that tension to leave your body, enabling you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed. As your body relaxes, your imagination opens up that natural ability to be able to think in powerful and creative ways. Your imagination is a portal to your past and your memories, your future in terms of your ambitions, your dreams. I want you to get a sense that we will visit the past in a powerful and profound way to create a change that will echo throughout your life, back from that point to the present and beyond. But first of all, we need a particular part of you to travel back in time. I want you to locate within yourself the most compassionate part of you, the part of you which is you at your most loving and understanding. Maybe you need a memory to recall this part, or maybe you can just bring this part forward. You at your most loving and understanding, and when that part is fully in control and I'm communicating to that part, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And we need a friend to join us on this journey into the past. I want you to bring forth a dog. You're still in control, but you're bringing a companion with you into the past. A dog that is perhaps aggressive or angry, vicious in certain circumstances, but at heart you know it's a loving dog. But perhaps it's a loving dog that's been treated badly in the past. It's lost trust, which is why sometimes it comes across as aggressive, even though you know this is a good dog. And when you can see that dog, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to imagine there is a large bubble. This bubble will take you back in time to your past. This bubble is bigger than you. And I want you to imagine that you are climbing inside this bubble. You, the most compassionate, loving and understanding part, are walking into this bubble. But you're taking this dog with you. And I want you to see the expression on the dog's face is that this is an angry dog. But maybe that anger is justified. And when both you and the dog are in this bubble, ready to go back in time, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. Imagine this bubble floating up. You can see everything outside of the bubble, but you are invisible to anyone outside looking in. They wouldn't even see the bubble. You are invisible within the bubble, and imagine you're floating up above, and then heading backwards, all the way back in time. And I want you to go back to a specific period in time where perhaps you were in an old house that you used to live in. I want you to imagine you're in this house at a time where you were hungry and it wasn't okay to eat. When you find that memory, imagine the bubble has taken you back to that point in time. I want you to see yourself as a child, perhaps with the expression, seeing that you're hungry and knowing that that child didn't feel that it was okay to eat. And when you're back in that house, just let me know by nodding your head. I want you to wait for a time where that child-like version of you was on their own, no one else around, and then when it's safe to do so, I want you to keep the dog in the bubble, but you leave the bubble. And I want you to say hello to that child. I want you to let that child know that you are that child from the future. And I want you to see that this child is hungry and tell the child that it's okay to eat. I want you to give that child some food that is healthy, nutritious, but also tasty. Almost as an introduction. As the child eats the food, notice they start to look maybe less distressed. I want you to tell that child that you care deeply about that child. And I want you to ask the child what is concerning them. And just listen. Because maybe these words were trapped in this child's head and they just needed to let them out. Particularly, I want you to ask this child, what are they angry about? And listen. Sometimes, just by saying those words, the anger eases down. Some people believe that whatever you're not saying, you're storing. And it may have been possible that you've been storing anger all the way from that childhood all the way up to your present day. So allow the child to say the words that perhaps weren't said. And when you've heard what this child was angry about, upset about, just let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to tell this child that her angry is valid, it's justified, it's understandable. You don't need to give her any excuses. You don't have to tell this child that she's got things wrong. Just tell her that you understand and respect the words that she's saying. Make this child feel heard. And notice that when those words are said, the facial expressions of this child has changed somehow. Just to be heard, just to be listened to, somehow has made things already better. I want you to give this child a hug. Tell the child you love this child. I want you to feel a connection, a deep connection with this child. And to tell this child that you are there to help. And I want you to ask this child, what one change could you help with to make things better? And when you've heard what that one change would be, just let me know. That's it. And then I want you to imagine that you are helping to make this change take place. Maybe it's a conversation that needs to happen. Maybe it's a change to some kind of access or resource. Help this child that wasn't in a position to make that change at that time to make the change, even if it's just in your memory, even if it's just in your imagination. I want you to imagine also that you help facilitate a conversation between this childlike version of you and their mother at that age, at that time. Maybe the child wouldn't have been listened to, but they would listen to an adult such as yourself. I want you to communicate what this child couldn't or wouldn't say in a way that the mother of that time will fully understand, because you know what impact it had throughout the rest of the life. And as you communicate that, perhaps you could encourage the mother at that age to apologize, not through any bad intention, but perhaps the impact of her good intentions. And if she's willing to apologize to this child, let me know by nodding your head. Yes. I want you to be there, almost as some kind of intermediary, as a witness, to hear a sincere apology from your mother at that age and see the impact on that child. And then I want you to encourage the child to forgive. Not a fake forgiveness, but a sincere, genuine forgiveness. And once the mother has apologized and the child has forgiven the mother, let me know by nodding your head. I want you temporarily, just for a moment, to climb inside the body of the child and for you to say the words of forgiveness. Just echo what that child said, just to your mother in your own imagination, feeling like it's your words forgiving her, but from the mouth of you as a child, and then give her a hug. And notice that love and understanding can be more powerful than anger. It's been said that anger, bitterness, is like taking a poison and then hoping that the other person gets sick. And with this hug and this apology and this forgiveness, that poison is draining away, disappearing. Instead is more understanding, more thoughtfulness, more empathy. And then I want you to climb back in your bubble after you say goodbye to both. Notice that the dog's facial expressions has changed slightly. It seems less angry. And then just follow the life of this child, perhaps for the next few months and years, to check what's happened here has had a positive ripple throughout that child's life. And if it has, let me know by nodding your head. if there's any other moments that maybe you need to help with, perhaps a moment where this same child was kept waiting for a long time, then in your bubble I want you to visit that moment. And when you're there, just let me know by nodding your head. Again, you're in your bubble and you're seeing the child after the child has only been waiting for maybe 5 minutes. Climb out of your bubble. Keep the dog in the bubble. And say hello to this childlike version of you. Notice that expression that she's happy to see you. A warm smile. You're not the person she was expecting because she was expecting her mother, but she's happy to see you nonetheless. Give her a hug and ask about her life. How's it going? What is she happiest about in her life at that point in time? I want you to imagine that you are going to give her a gift. And this gift is a resource that you know that she needs at this age in her life. Maybe that resource is also compassion, or self-love, or understanding. Or maybe it's resilience, or mental strength, or something else. I want you to imagine handing a glowing ball of energy that represents this specific resource that you think you at that age would have really benefited from. And then, when she's ready to accept it, notice she holds her hands open and pulls that glowing ball of energy to her chest, taking that resource, and you know that resource will help not just in this moment, but throughout her life. But also notice, she wants to give you something that she had in abundance back then, a quality, a way of thinking, a resource, and she will give you that resource now. But giving you that resource does not take away her resource. I want you to picture one candle lighting another candle. Nothing is lost in the first candle by lighting the second candle. So even if this child gives you something, it does not take it away from her. And if that makes sense, let me know by nodding your head. She then passes you a ball of energy, an energy that represents a particular resource that she had back then that you need right now in your present. You don't have to know what it is. She doesn't have to tell you what it is, but your unconscious mind will know that it's what you need more than anything else right now. I want you to imagine pulling your hands out, accepting this ball of energy, and then placing it right there in your chest, feeling that you're absorbing this resource, this energy that you need right now. And when it's been accepted and absorbed into you and you can feel the power of that resource, let me know by nodding your head. This child now has a resource that you've given her. You've now received one from this little girl. And I want you to just wait, with this little girl, till her mother arrives. Notice she can't be angry because she has company. That company is you. And now it's time to bring that dog out of the bubble. And notice that she's so excited to be able to play with the little dog. And the dog likes the attention. And notice that the dog doesn't seem angry anymore. So if you can see the dog playing with the girl and the girl playing with the dog, both seem happy, just let me know by nodding your head. That's it. Just wait as long as you need until her mother arrives. When the mother arrives, I want you to ask if you can just have a quick conversation with her. And let her know that you know that she's busy. You know that she has things that were very important. But I want you to communicate the consequences as to what would have happened if this child was left alone all by herself. The anger it would create. That anger may come from fear, uncertainty, as the mother perhaps comes back with excuses. Again, just listen to her, tell her you understand, but also tell her that even if it's justifiable, it has consequences to a child. Tell her that it's important that this child does not hold on to anger, because that anger will pollute her for a very long period of time. It's important that as a mother she explains what happened, why she was late, but more importantly that she apologizes for it and gives her reassurance that it won't happen again. And if the mother is willing to do that, let me know by nodding your head. And then just watch as the mother explains to the child, perhaps still playing with the dog, as to why she was late, but more importantly that she apologizes and gives reassurance that it won't happen again. See the facial expression of the girl that accepts this apology, and then just momentarily jump into the body of this little girl. Give your mum a hug. And tell your mother that you understand. And notice the profound, powerful effect that just communicating to your mother at that age that you understand does for your mother. She was also struggling. It wasn't easy for her. And notice that in this spirit of understanding, it's difficult for anyone to be angry. It's difficult for anyone to be controlling. And it becomes super easy to make positive, useful choices.